Okay, John, go ahead.
What I tell you is what I know is fair.
I'm a power person. I enjoy power. Nobody else had the guts to pull off what I pulled off. I outsmarted you again.
Hi, and welcome to Infamous Crimes. Today we bring you the story of one of the most disturbing serial killers in history, John Wayne Gacy, also known as the Killer Clown.
Yeah, this case is truly chilling. Gacy wasn't just a murderer. He lived a double life as a respected civilist and even dressed up a clown of children's parties.
That's right, but before we get into the darkest details, let's start with a bit of background of him. John Wayne Gacy biography.
John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17 of 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. He has tough childhood with an abusive alcoholic father who often violated and physical and abuse of him.
Yes, and on top of that, he had several health problems, including blackouts and hair condition. His father saw him as weak and conditionally ridiculed him for not being manly enough.
Despite all this, he tried to fit in during his teenager years. He got involved in local politics and later married a woman father helped him manage a chain of fast food restaurants. But that's when his double life really began.
So now we're going to enter to the question and answer questions. So when did Gacy start showing his darker side?
His first known crimes happened in late 1960s. In 1968, he was convicted of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old boy. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but was released on a parole after just 18 months.
It's shocking that someone with a record was able to reintegrate into society so easily. What happened after that?
After getting out of prison, Gacy moved back to Chicago and started a construction business. That's how the lawyer in many of his victims observed them jobs.
Exactly. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy murdered at least 33 young men and teenage boys. Most of them were tricked into coming to his house under false job officers, while others were simply nabbed.
And the most horrific part, well, he buried most of the bodies under his own house. When he ran out of space, he started dumping them in a nearby river.
Now, guys, we're going to enter into the creepy fact about Gacy. Well, first let's go over some creepy facts about Gacy, because honestly everything about him is disturbing.
He's one that always freaks people out. Gacy performed at a children's party and community event as Bo the Clown. No one suspected a thing.
Yeah, and even creepier. While in prison, he painted clowns' portraits, which later sold for thousands of dollars to amount of many people, like collectors or people that are interested in John Wayne Gacy. That's weird, but it's okay.
Another shocking detail is that when the police first investigated him in 1978, they noticed a horrible smell in his house, but couldn't search it right anyway. It was until later that they discovered the bodies buried in the crawl space.
And here's his chilling final note. One of his last words before his execution in 1994 was, "Kiss my ass." Uh, that's that's not too good. In my opinion, John Wayne Gacy was a really bad person, and that thing about John Wayne Gacy is all bad. And finally, episode wrap up.
Yeah. John Wayne Gacy left a terrible legacy. His case is a reminder that monsters can hide in plain sight.
Absolutely. If you enjoy True Crime Deep Divides, don't forget to follow and share this episode. See you next time on Infamous Crimes. Finally, we have a video about John Wayne Gacy, an interview also.
My question would be to you right off the bat is why, after so many years of silence, never having a media interview, and people have said that you have given them interviews in years
Well, that's
past.
hogwash.
Yeah.
That's strictly hogwash.
So we're saying
I'm
today,
constantly told that I'm misquoted constantly, saying that I said this and I said that, and it's not happened.
so it's pretty well established on this. This is the first time you're speaking publicly about your case.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always felt that my attorneys were handling it, and they said to keep a low profile and stay away from it. And in light of all that has been used against me in the media, they've created this fantasy monster image, and it's been going on for the last 12 years. And I've ever had no comment, and I had no need to talk to the media for the simple reason that they were looking for sensationalism and they were looking for the monster.
When you say fantasy monster image, what are you referring to by that?
Well, the idea that I'm a homosexual thrill killer and all that garbage, and they painted this image of me that like I strolled down the streets and stalked young boys and slaughtered them. Hell, if you could see my schedule, my work schedule, you know damn well that I was never out there.
Well, you were indicted, convicted, and sentenced on 33 counts of homicide. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, insofar as sound goes, if I'm down with my head, does that hurt your sound quality?
No, it's okay. Just try not to move around too much. Please.
If you break into song, give him a cue.
No, I ain't going to break into any song. We'll go into the lead-in as you know, you were at 1978.
Yeah.
You were present.
Yeah. Okay, but that's the way I'd like to start, and I'd like to kind of
Well,
go
what do
through
you got there? Let's see your list.
Well, I just like to go through the generalities, maybe talk about the background of the thing, the original case.
Bleeping of the language, I will watch the language.
Yeah, he's gonna try.
Bye.